My name is Atgelish Person. I'm the Chief of Urbanization and Development Section of United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. I'm coordinating the implementation of the DA15 project, which is focusing on expanding physical space of cities to enhance their capacities to respond to the demand of the citizenry.
What are the objectives of the project? Who are the beneficiaries? And what's the role of the Economic Commission for Africa? And who are the partners?
The objective of the project is to enhance the capacity of African cities to expand their physical space. This is because, as you know, urbanization is rapid in Africa. So the question is, are we ready to respond to this rapid urbanization? How are our infrastructures? Are they do they respond to the demand that the citizens, that the growing residents are requesting? Let's say, for instance, infrastructure like housing, like waste management, sanitation, water, electricity. The more the population increases, you need that should be compatible.
Who are the beneficiaries of this project?
The beneficiaries are all the African cities, but this is a pilot project. We have 6 target cities to start with. So these 6 cities are Addis Ababa, Lusaka, Nairobi, Kigali, Dar es Salaam, and Yaoundé.
You had spoken about this being the first phase of the United Nations Development Account project and the funding. This is very unusual. This is not the type of projects that the Economic Commission for Africa gets involved in. So why the cities? Why the municipalities?
Due to our work, urbanization, and also if you implement SDGs, it has to start at the local level. So localization is very important of the SDGs. So SDG 11, that is also enhanced by this project, because SDG 11 is sustainable cities and communities. So our section focus is, our work is, of course, with mainly with the local government, and also, of course, because of the ECA mandate, we work also nationally. It's, local to national, national to local. So we try to integrate even the IPRT, the integrated planning and the reporting toolkit, with the VELA, the voluntary local review. So that would help to exchange also data, because the VELA is very good instrument and tool to give those local level data at national level.
The UN Capital Development Fund is one of the UN agencies that was established by the UN General Assembly with a very specific mandate to support developing countries, first and foremost the least developed countries, to improve their economies through providing grants, loans and guarantees. So in this partnership, we are happy that we are working together. And I have seen that from the assessment, the number of findings, especially for Lusaka City Council. And we hope that we can actually deploy some of the instruments to address the recommendations that have been provided to improve on their fiscal space.
Talking about livelihoods, how is this instrument, how is it going to improve the person of the community? We're talking on the radio, they're asking themselves, how does it touch me on the community level?
They are benefiting in terms of, the schools that are there, the health facilities that are there, the social services, the roads, are in place. They are using that. We have donor funds that come in to complement the government funding. So this is also flowing down to the local level, and people are using that funding that come in, to implement the priority projects, which I believe are in the local council development plans. And these priorities come from the wananchi, so they benefit them. And then you have the domestic capital that is coming from financial institutions. They are providing small micro loans to the people in the communities, maybe to improve on their farming methods or to add value to their produces. So there is a lot coming in from different sources. You have the diaspora, actually, people living in the diaspora, they are sending money through these systems, and it's going down to the mothers or fathers, their sisters and brothers, to access medical services or to pay school fees for their children. So there is a whole range of things that we can work on.
This project is an extremely important project. The financial performance assessment of the local authority in Lusaka, and soon also to be completed for Nairobi, because it helps put together the key indicators of how financially healthy the county is, or the local authority is, by people who are not necessarily involved in the day-to-day running of the county. And with that kind of report, you're able to then deal with the stakeholders when you're looking for financing, when you're looking for partnerships in project implementation, when you're looking for supplementary resources to be able to do this, because it's an independent judgment, shall I say, of how healthy the county and the local council has been run. So we welcome very much the work of the Economic Commission for Africa in doing these reports in the various municipalities and local authorities. And for Nairobi in particular, I'm very much looking forward to being able to listen and hear the outcomes of the assessment. The first thing that naturally comes to me is that how similar these local authorities are. The challenges that I see with the Lusaka are very similar to the challenges we have in Nairobi, or some of them we have tried to overcome. For example, moving away from manual revenue collection to automated revenue collection. But the issues are very much the same, because the governments are set up on the same modus operandi, and therefore each of us have a duty to help the other to actually surmount and overcome this. And therefore today has been a very enriching day, listening to the people from the Ministry of Finance, the local government. They could all be from Kenya. The conversation is the same, the feedback is the same, but more importantly, the will, the drive, and the focus, and the interest to do better is what I feel with all the members who have been in here today. And that has been a very, very productive day, very useful, and I encourage that we have more of these sessions going forward.
It's been very important for us to identify some of the challenges that we've known but haven't realized that they're so deep. And then also just knowing that if we don't have proper data within the local authority, then we'll always have a challenge with where revenue system is concerned. It was quite interesting when I was looking at the presentation. Yeah, some of those issues I've known about, and then you always think you're working on the challenges, and then you come and hear about how deep these challenges are and how we can actually sort them out if we have proper revenue system or we have proper data. So for me, I think this has been important, because it's just showing that we're going towards, building a resilient city, and having such kind of support is just one of the best things, because even just the staff in the local authority are built with capacity building is concerned. Yeah.
So this project is about expanding physical space to develop very resilient cities. So how did it come about? We are going through a massive change in Africa. Urbanization is one of the processes that's changing everything, which means by 2060, we will have 6 out of 10 people be living in urban centers, which means all these cities need to prepare right now. But given they've seen so many shocks over time, means that they have very reduced fiscal space. They have very little money now left in order to be fighting, those crises and the shocks that they have experienced over time. So one of the ways we thought we are going to actually help some cities think about how to build resilience is to expand their fiscal space. And in doing so, we are working with UN Habitat and UNCDF for 6 cities in Africa. So the 6 cities are Nairobi, Lusaka, Addis Ababa, Kigali, Yaoundé, and Dar es Salaam. So the 3 cities we are pretty advanced in. What we have done in this entire thing, we want them to assess their fiscal space. For 3 different cities, we have already produced a financial assessment report. And this meeting currently that we are here for is to assess and validate how this assessment has come about. Do people have any recommendations in order to improve upon it? So that's where we are here in Lusaka right now, because this is a financial assessment validation report for Lusaka.